Welcome back to another episode of the Cover 2 podcast. As always, I'm your host, Lawson Turner, and the NBA Finals start tomorrow night at 8:30 on ABC, and I don't know why this is 8. Let's do 8:30. Let's make it look nice and accurate, 8:30. There we go. Now, a lot of people are thinking and talking about, who has the most to gain out of this series. We've got Luka Doncic and Jason Tatum being at the front seat of that argument. They are the two best players on both these two teams, and so they have a lot to gain. But who has the most to gain? I see a lot of people saying, well, if Luka can cap this season off with a ring, it catapults him into okay. So Luka finishes this all-time great regular season, postseason run. Well, it's interesting about postseason run because statistically it's been his worst postseason run, and he's made it all the way to the final series and one of the last two teams remaining. But for Jason Tatum, if he were to win this and play well, is like he's the best player in the series, which I don't think he is, and I don't think a lot of people outside of Boston fans think that Jason Tatum is the best player going into the series. So I got a couple stats and notes and well, not really stats, but like things that can compare and contrast them. Like Jason Tatum came into the NBA in 2017, Luka 2018, so they're very very similar when it comes to seasons that they've been in the NBA. One in the West, one in the East. One's had more help with a constant running mate in Jaylen Brown, who's been awesome. And their development between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown has been nothing short of. It's great to see they found each other at the right time. They found each other at the right time. They've gone through growing pains together, and now they have a chance to right the big strong of their career so far, which is being up 2-1 on Golden State and then losing games 4, 5, and 6. Now for Luka, it's been more of I'm not gonna say a struggle, well, team struggle that is. He's been the best player on his team since he came into the NBA. Like his first year, he had what was left of Dirk, and then Dirk kind of mentored him, and then he retired, and then they tried to get him another star a couple years later in Porzingis, and that worked out in the bubble until Porzingis getting ejected, and him being up and down and Luka being a very, very ball dominant player. And it's really hard to play with a player like that. That at some times, as his co-star, you can find yourself just coasting or sitting in the corner or on the wing, or in a big in Porzingis' case, set a screen and try and get a different matchup for him, as opposed to setting a screen and trying to get a switch for a mismatch on me. Now, after Porzingis left, they drafted Jalen Brunson, and he was, on the rise, and then they let him walk out the door. And then last year they traded for Kyrie Irving, and that has been Luka's best teammate from a talent perspective, and some would argue a fit perspective, because whenever Luka doesn't have the ball in his hands, it's in Kyrie's hands. So it's kind of a, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. I'm gonna get us going to start. You're gonna, not really bring it home for us because Luka and Kyrie are sensational when it comes to the clutch. Now, these two players being Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic, not to get off track because I can rant and get off track early and often. Like these two players are two of the eight best players in the NBA, two of the top seven, six. Like if Tatum wins this championship, I think he enters like, because right now to me, he's from the six, at best case five, at the very, very best case five, or where I have him, 6 to 8. There's nothing wrong with that. It's pick your poison of the Embiid, Tatum, like that category. Because Embiid is better in the regular season, but he has the playoff struggles that Jason Tatum he hasn't really had insane, like crazy struggles the way Joel Embiid has. And for Luka, he goes from third best player in the world to one. In a lot of people's eyes, it'd be one because Giannis, for better lack of terms, he got injured at the end of the year, and he lost the best player in the world title 2 years ago when Jokic had his, when he is going on his, rise to stardom. And with Jokic winning the MVP this year, it really is like, okay, well, Jokic, best player in the world, but he got bounced in the second round. And now if Luka can cap this off and be the dominant postseason player that he, has always been, I think that Luka has a bigger claim to the crown of best player in the world. Now, let's just do counting numbers. If you just want to do counting numbers, it's it's really unfair. It's in Luka's favor and it's not really close. Like if you you earn your name in the regular season. No, you make your name in the regular season. You earn your name in the postseason. So like when Jason Tatum for his career, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. That's a good solid career. If you average that for 10 to 12 years, you had a very very good career. But Luca is just ridiculous. 28.7. So I rounded up or down for Jason Tatum stats. Let's do the same for Luca. 29 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. He's flirting with a triple double damn near every single year. He passes the eye test. We've seen this postseason when he's locked in on defense, he can be a good defender for someone that has the narrative of he's not a good defender on ball or off ball. And then in the postseason time, Jason Tatum's stats go up, but it's not by much. He increases his points per game by one, his rebounds by one, and his assists by one. It goes from 23 to 24 points, 7 to 8 rebounds, and then 4 to 5 assists regular season to postseason. For as gaudy as the numbers that Luka puts up in the regular season, he puts up better numbers in the postseason. 31, that's second all time in postseason average points in postseason points per game. He's second to Jordan at 31. So he's averaging 29 in the regular season for a career thus far. And then he gets even better and drops 31 on average every game. 31, 9 rebounds, which, it's about the same as the regular season, 8.7 to 9.4, so rounding down for Luka. And then assists are the same, 8.3 to 8.2, so his assists actually go down. But his level of play, minutes, usage rate goes up. Because let's not get it twisted. We know who we want the ball. We know who we want the ball. We know who we want with the ball, I should say. Kind of, came out funky. But with everything Luka does, he passes eye test. He's dominating the tougher conference now. This is a guy who, he's gone against the Clippers. Out of the 5 years he's made the postseason, 4, 5, he's he's faced the Clippers. 3 of those, and that's the Clippers with Kawhi and Paul George, 2 of the best wing defenders and perimeter defenders in the NBA. And he's still putting up these numbers. He's still putting up these numbers, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous and lunacy that he's able to play as effective as he is, and how good he does play, especially in the postseason. Like I said, you make your name in the regular season, you earn your name in the postseason. And I think to answer the question, who do I think has more to gain? Luka. I think if Luka can cap this season off with the title, he enters into the next realm of okay, this is a all-time. I already think he's an all-time great player and will end up in that top 25, 20, uh, ranking all time when it's all said and done. For Tatum, he's a B plus level. He's a B plus to A minus level player, and he's been that way throughout. He's had stretches of A plus, but like I said, to answer the question, that I have, scrolling right here, who has the most to gain? Give me Luka Doncic. Well, that's all I have for you guys in this episode of the Cover 2 podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at the Cover 2 Pod 26. Link is also in the description to make it a little bit easier to find and interact with us on Twitter during these NBA finals, and it's been outstanding to watch. And let me know in the comments below, who do you guys think, either Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic, who has the most to gain by winning the finals, or is it somebody else? Like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.